Hi everyone, welcome to another lecture of the subject control system. In this lecture I am going to start different block diagram reduction technique. I have started the block diagram reduction technique from previous lecture. There we discussed about closed loop transfer function, that is for negative feedback system, and we actually derive the equation for derive the transfer function for cascaded system. Okay, so the cascaded system was like this: if two or more systems having individual transfer functions as g1, g2 and so on are cascaded with each other, then the overall transfer function, the total transfer function Ts, can be written as g1s into g2s. Okay, and so on. Now then we learned about closed loop transfer function, that means G1 for negative feedback system, because in control system we generally use negative feedback system. G1, let us say G2, and it will be minus, it will be plus. If Rs is here and Cs is the output, then the total transfer function Ts equals to Cs by Rs is equals to G1 by 1 plus G1 G2. Now I am going one step further. If instead of being negative feedback, if it is positive feedback system, though we don't generally use positive feedback system in control systems, but if often you may encounter some kind of block diagram where you can see that there is some this kind of positive feedback systems. Okay, let us say you have a big system, and within that big system there are small part of the system consisting of a positive feedback, and the overall system is acting as some negative feedback system, but some part of it is used as some positive feedback, is having some positive feedback element. So how to reduce that positive feedback element? Look, if this is negative feedback, then this will be plus, and if this is positive feedback, then this will be minus. Okay, so in general we can write this as, if the feedback is plus or minus, then the output will be minus or plus. It is not the output, it is the overall transfer function. If this kind of system is there, then the total transfer function will be g1 by 1 minus plus g1 g2. For positive feedback it will be minus, that is why plus, here it is written as plus minus and here it is written as minus plus. Okay, so this is actually one step ahead of simple negative feedback closed loop transfer function. Next we will see, let us say you have some complex block diagram and you need to reduce that. For that you need to get rid of some blocks in any path. Let us say the part of the transfer function is like this. Let us say G1 is a subsystem and G2 is a subsystem, and these two systems are added together. These two systems are added together and you are getting the output. So let us say, consider some conditions like, okay, this is a forward path, the two paths are forward paths, okay, but you need this path to be unity gain. Then without disturbing the system, without disturbing the input output relationship, you need to manipulate this portion. How you can do this? Now why I am talking about this, why do I need to make this path of unity gain? Because let us say block diagram is such that if this path is if this path is of unity gain, then it will be lot more easier to actually handle the system as a whole. So I need to make this path gain as unity. So how am I going to do that? Look, if the output is denoted by some Cs and the input is by some Rs, then what will be the output? Output Cs is equals to Rs into G1s, Rs into G1s plus Rs into G2s. This is the output, right? This is the output of the system. Now, instead of, now obviously the overall transfer function for this kind of system will be Rs into G1s plus G2s. So the overall transfer function Cs by Rs will be G1s plus G2s. So whenever you have this kind of parallel paths, look, notice here, in feedback case also we had some parallel paths like this. Like this, there was some parallel paths, but here notice this path is from input side to output side. That means this is forward path. Again, this path is also from input side towards output side. This one is also parallel path. If also forward path. If both are forward path, then we can write it as G1 plus G2. But in this case, this path is forward, but this path is backward. That's why this path cannot be considered as parallel path, and you cannot add the system. You need to go G1 by 1 plus G1 G2 by with that formula. Okay. Now, one thing you notice, this is the overall path gain of the system. But here my objective is something else. I don't need to do that thing. My objective is I want to make this path gain as unity. So I need to arrange some block here. So how am I going to do that? Let's say my system will have Rs as its input as it is now, and Cs as its output as it is now. But there will be some block like this, and this will be the summing block or the summing point, and this path will be having unity gain. This path, instead of being multiplied by G2, it will be having unity gain. So there must be some okay, there must be some analysis done here. Look, this portion can be, if it is Rs, then this portion can be, if this is G1, then this portion can be R into G1, R into G1, R into G1, as this is R into G1, and this portion is R into G2, R into G2. But if this is R and this path is of unity gain, then this will give you only R. So you need one G2 block here, but you cannot use that. You want this path to be of unity gain. So how you are going to obtain that portion? You simply, what you will do is you simply use this block G2. Instead of in this path, you use G2 in this path. Then what will happen? This will be R into G2, and here you will get R into G2. But you want to get R into G1 here, but now what you are getting? R into G2 into G1. That means this path will be R into G2, and now if this is connected, you will get R into G2 into G1. So instead of G1, you need one G1 by G2. If you need this, if you get this, then obviously this is Rs, this is G2, so this is RG2, this is RG2 also, and if it is G1 by G2, then this portion, at this portion you will get RG2 into G1 by G2, that means R into G1, and the output will be Cs equals to R into G1 plus R into G2. Cs equals to R into G1 plus R into G2. So this portion, this block diagram can be represented in terms of this block diagram. This block diagram can be represented in terms of this block diagram. So why I am doing this? Because the condition is such that I need this path to be of unity gain. If this path is of unity gain, then it will be lot more easier for me to analyze this system. Now if instead of plus, if it is minus, then there is no issue, actually this will be minus. Okay. So in summary, what we can do is, we can replace whenever in a block diagram, whenever in a complex block diagram, if you see this kind of diagram, this kind of subsystem G1, G2, it is getting to a summing block and some output is taken. Okay, some input is given. If this kind of thing is in any complex block diagram, and this kind of thing you are not able to analyze this portion, then you can simply convert this one into this one. The same x will be applied here, the same y we will get there. Okay, if having unity gain in the parallel path, if it helps, then you can convert this to this, and if you think you can reduce this as G1 plus G2, then no issue, you can do by this diagram only, you do not need to convert this diagram to this diagram. Okay. So it is making unity path gain of a parallel of a forward path. Look, this is forward path. Okay. There were two forward paths, among which one forward path is converted into a unity forward path. Now the next thing, instead of forward path, I am making unity feedback path. Look, unity feedback path, this one is negative feedback diagram or positive feedback diagram, that is not our concern. So I want this path. Now earlier there was some parallel path from input side to output side, and I wanted to make that forward path, that parallel forward path to 0. Now I want to make this feedback path to 0. How I am going to do this? Similarly, I will use one block here. What will be the transfer function of that block? I am coming a bit later. First let me generalize the thing, and this will be the feedback. Now look, feedback path is having unity gain. This is R, this is C. Now what will be there in this blocks? What will be there in these blocks? Let's say this block is having X, this block is having Y. So what will be the value of X and Y in terms of G1, G2? We are calculating. Look, the total transfer function of this system is, as we know, G1 by 1 minus plus G1, G2. The total transfer function of this portion only, the unity feedback portion, is Y by 1 minus plus Y only, because Y into 1 and it is unity, so no need to calculate. And the total transfer function will be, this portion is this, and this block is itself in cascade with the total thing, so this will be multiplied, simple multiplied. And I want to represent this block diagram using this block diagram. So the overall transfer function of this block diagram and the overall transfer function of this total block diagram will be same. So I can write g1 by 1 minus plus g1 g2 as xy by 1 minus plus 1. Comparing the two expression, I can write g1 as xy and y as g1 g2, y as g1 g2. Now if y is g1 g2, then what will be the value of x? xy is g1, y is itself g1 g2, that means x will be g1 by y, that means g1 g2, and it will be g1 g1 get cancelled, 1 by g2. So x will be 1 by g2 and y will be g1 g2. Now I can then represent this transfer function, this block diagram by this portion, by this diagram. Sorry, let me erase these portions. I just want to write this portion, y equals to g1 g2 and x equals to 1 by g2 as I am getting. So this subsystem can now be written as 1 by g2 g1 g2 this is CS, this is RS, this is now this portion of the block diagram. Let's say similarly in a complex block diagram you have a subsystem like this feedback portion, but due to some reason this feedback portion is hard to analyze. You are not able to analyze this portion, or you are not able to minimize this portion. But if the gain of the unity feedback portion is unity, if the feedback was unity feedback, then it was a lot more easier to handle. Let's say this is the scenario, then you can convert this system as this one, where you will get some unity feedback system cascaded with some other block, and this will be a lot more easier to handle. Okay, I am considering, I am not taking it as a complex block diagram as an example, but I am giving you idea of what we are doing here. Let us say this is the thing, okay, and now it is a parallel forward path, this is a feedback path. Let us say I want to analyze this system, but due to some reason, let us do this here. Now this will be complex. And this is the output. Okay. Now this is a forward path, this is a feedback path, but look, you cannot use these two blocks differently and use the feedback, use this formula to obtain the transfer function of this subsystem. Rather, what is happening here, instead of having one single block, these two blocks are cascaded, but it can be represented as a single block, but there is another signal line coming and added to the middle of these two blocks. So these two blocks cannot be called as cascaded two blocks. So here you cannot use this, you cannot use this formula to calculate the overall transfer function of this subsystem. Rather, it would be helpful if you convert this summing point, instead of being here you can transfer this summing point here, and then these two blocks, let us call let us name the blocks, that will be easier to explain. G2, G3, G4, G5. Okay. Now G2 and G3 are not in cascade, but if you can you can put this summing block, instead of being between G2 and G3, if this summing block is there or here, then it will be G2 and G3 would have been in cascade, and you can analyze this system as a simple feedback system. Okay. Again, this portion G1 and G2, G1 and G2 are having are seem to be in cascade, but they are not in cascaded, they are not in cascade connection. But what is happening here, the feedback from this portion is coming and added in between G1 and G2. So again, if this summing block, instead of being here, if this summing block was here, then this G1 and G2 can be cascaded. So manipulating the position of summing block, or again instead of this taking off point, this is called takeoff point or tapping point, anything. If this takeoff point is, instead of being here, if this takeoff point is here, then this portion would look like this with a block, and this one was simple feedback configuration, and you can easily convert this using this formula, but it is not there. So moving the summing point or moving the taking off point will help us to analyze the system and will help us to reduce the block diagram. Again, I think this is not the scenario where you need this feedback path to be unity gain. If this feedback path is unity gain, then that would be lot more easier to analyze the system. This is not the this is not that type of block diagram. But if that block diagram is such that instead of moving this summing point or this summing point, or instead of moving this tapping point or this tapping point, if you can make the path gain as unity, then that would be lot more easier. Based on the complex block diagram, you need to analyze what you need to do to make it reducible, what kind of technique you need to do. It can be moving some summing point, let us say beyond this block, or let us say this summing point must be ahead of this block, or this tapping point is now beyond this G3. Now let us say the system would be easier if this tapping point is ahead of G3. If this tapping point is beyond ahead of G1, let us say this would be lot more easier if this tapping point is beyond G1. Or let us say this path gain is having G5, let us say this would be lot more easier if this path gain, instead of being G5, it is 1, or this feedback path gain, instead of being G4, it is 1, unity. That would be easier. So whenever this kind of situation arrives, you need to convert this portion into this portion. I have talked about making forward path gain to unity, and I have talked about making reverse path gain, that means feedback path gain, to unity. The feedback path gain, you can make it unity by converting this portion as this. Now I am going for the next point, that is moving the tapping point. There are actually 6 different techniques. You can convert the subsystem into another subsystem, like making the unity path gain, making the forward path gain as unity, making the reverse path gain as unity, moving the tapping point beyond a block, moving the tapping point ahead of a block, moving the summing point beyond a block, moving the summing point ahead of a block. These are the fundamental techniques, fundamental 6 techniques that are needed in case of analyzing or in case of reducing complex block diagram. Now, after discussing the making the path gain as unity for forward and backward both, we are going to discuss now moving the tapping point. Now, moving tapping point. There are two kind of movement. One is beyond the block and another is ahead of the block. Now, what is these things? If G1 is my block, let us say it is G, simple G, and now my tapping point is here. Let us say it is here or it is going in this side, that does not matter, there is a tapping point here. But instead of being here, I want this tapping point to be after the G block, after this G block. So, how I can convert this tapping point? I can move this tapping point from here to here. This is called beyond the block, beyond the block. And again, scenario is such that I have some tapping point in here and I want that tapping point to be ahead of this block, before the block. Okay, this is called ahead of the block, moving the tapping point ahead of the block. Why I need to do this? Again, in the diagram there is a block G and a tapping point like this ahead of G, but with this kind of configuration my system is harder, system is lot more difficult to analyze or difficult to reduce to a single block diagram. That is why if I can move this tapping point, instead of being here, if I can move this tapping point beyond G, then it would be easier to analyze the system. Again, if such scenario arises that in the complex block diagram I have tapping point of some I have tapping point beyond some block G. Now, instead of being beyond G, if the tapping point was ahead of G, then it would be lot more easier to reduce the system. So, I can convert this tapping point, move this tapping point from here to here. There is a technique. Which technique? Now, first I am going to discuss about beyond the block. What is beyond the block? How we can do this? Okay, for moving the block, moving the tapping point to beyond the block, then obviously the tapping point must be ahead of the block. If it is already beyond the block, then there is no point of moving it further beyond. Okay, if there is another block, then this tapping point, let us say this is G1, G2, okay, then this tapping point cannot, this tapping point is already beyond this block G1, but it is ahead of this block G2. I can move it beyond G2 further or ahead of G1, anything, but I am considering, I am discussing about beyond, moving beyond the block. Let us say that we have a block G1, it is a G, and my tapping point is here, okay, and I want to make this tapping point from here, move this tapping point from here to here. How I am going to do this? Look, if I have some output Y and input X, then Y will be X into G. From the block diagram, it is simple, and my tapping point will have X, so my tapped signal will be X, taken off signal will be X. Now, if I, instead of being here, the point is here, then what will happen? The G block will be there, the G block will not be altered. So, if the tapping point is now here, my X is the input to G and y is the output to g. Till now it is same as previous case, and output y equals to xg. But earlier my tapping point was tapped the signal x, but now my tapping point is tapping the signal xg, that means y. So if I multiply here 1 by g block, then my tapped signal will be x again, because this is xg and this will be x into xg into 1 by g, that means x. So I can move the tapping point from ahead of the system to beyond a system, but for that I need to do this kind of manipulation here. This will be same now. If x is the input to g, y is the output to g, then y equals to xg. If x is the input to g, y is the output to g, then y equals to xg is the y equals to xg, the output. Okay, and if x from the signal line x, one tapped line is taken to anywhere in the rest of the portion, rest of the complex system. Let's say this is the total complex system, within which there is a subsystem like this, and this x line is going towards another block, but the line is carrying the information as x. But if I, instead of tap in the x line, if I tapped it from y line, then it will carry xg. That's why I need another block of gain 1 by g, of transfer function 1 by g, then the output of this block will carry x, and as this x was used in another block in the system, and this x can be used to another block of the system. Thus I can actually convert, thus I can actually move any tapping point from ahead of the system to beyond the system, that means block. Now one more thing, let's say I have the block beyond a system. Now for simplicity, for making it easier, I need this tapping point, instead of being here, I need this tapping point here. So how am I going to do that? So what will happen? Okay, sorry, this will contain y. Now I cannot disturb this block g, this will be there, but instead of tapping point, instead of being here, this will be now here. Now if this line is x, the output will be y equals to xg, no issue. Now this tapped line contains y, but this tapped line contains x. So I need another block g here, which will again take this x as input and make y as the output, and this tapped line is now containing y, and again this tapped line, though this tapped line is not containing y, it is containing x, but after the block g it again contains y itself. So if this y is needed anywhere in the rest of the system, I can use this y as anywhere in the rest of the system. Why I am doing this? Because I could have take this signal line not from here but from here, this will also be y, but the system was like this, the system actually is like this, but it is not easy to handle, it is not easy to reduce the system, reduce the block diagram, reduce the complex block diagram into simpler one. It is not actually convenient for us. So if this tapping point is, instead of being in the output line, if this is in the input line, then the reduction technique would be much more convenient for us. That's why we are converting this system into that system. So this is moving of tapping points. There are one more thing, that is moving of summing point. I am not going to discuss that moving of summing point in this lecture, because I think the time is over. Though some lectures are too long for about 1 hours, but I want to confine my lecture into within half an hour or 35 to 40 minutes. But sometimes it may happen that some topics cannot be left from middle of the portion, so I need to complete that topics. That's why sometimes it may happen that the video length is becoming so much long. But I can close here, I can stop here today. The next lecture, from the next lecture onwards, we will discuss signal flow graph, and we will do some basic example of block diagram reduction technique. And one more thing, the moving of summing point is there still, it is not discussed yet. That will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you. Goodbye.